the next, again, fantastic, amazing queen, uh, friend who I actually had the privilege to meet her in person, and we're doing some crazy stuff. I'm gonna pin you now, so you're gonna. This is my friend Inyid. Um, we met we met in a crazy way. Yes, online, virtual. Somehow we connect to each other. We can't even figure it out how we connect, but we connect. The universe made this connection, and through her I met Susan Ma, and I had the privilege to meet them in person. Had a great time, had great dinner. We having spa days together. We really, doing the self-care relaxation as well, and we're doing the cold jumps, the punch pulls, and we timing each other how many minutes we can resist in that cold water, and we kind of like do a challenge between us. I'm so grateful to introduce you, Inyad, please take over and do your introduction. I'm gonna give you the mic. The mic is yours.
Thank you, Eve. Oh my God. I'm so grateful for being here, and I'm so grateful for being your friend, Eve, and seeing all these cool women. And thank you, all of you, for sharing, because we all have a story, and it's so incredible how we come out of it, like how powerful. And oh my God, Monica, I hope I say your name correctly. Wow, what a story. What a strong woman you are. And all of you, like, there's a reason. I believe that we're here for a reason. We meet people on the way, on our journey. Some of us are going to help each other, and some of us are just going to be in the space. So I just want to thank you all for sharing and being so vulnerable and telling your story, because that is what helps people, because we forget to speak and say what we feel, and it's about us just letting it out. So I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you, Eve, for having me here. So again, my name is Ingjerd, and I'm a consultant with the Proctor Gallagher Institute. So, the Proctor Gallagher Institute is an organization that was founded by Bob Proctor, who recently died, and he was a world leader in human potential and mindset. So, I'm teaching people how their mind works so they can start to achieve the results they want. I teach people why they're doing what they're doing and why they're not doing what they really want to do or able to do. So we have been given this gift, our mind. One author, Maxwell Maltz, in 1960s was doing a lot of work around self-image psychology. In fact, he caused a breakthrough in self-image. And this is pretty interesting. He said, man's not a machine, but man has a machine that he uses. And so you got this beautiful gift, your mind. Your mind works perfectly in absolute precision. It's an automatic mechanism, so it would probably stand out to reason to figure out how this machine works if it's operating and it's controlling what you do. So your mind controls everything you do. This body that we're walking around in is just an instrument of our mind. When people think of the mind, they think of the picture of a brain. So the mind is not a thing, it's an activity. If you really start studying energy and how energy works, everything is energy. This camera that I'm talking to is energy. I am energy. And this apartment I am sitting in is energy. Everything is energy. And so energy flows to and through us. And our mind has the ability to take that energy and convert it into thought. And then that thought then sends signals to our brain, which then sends signals to our body and gives us direction and what we do. So I work with people to really get them to discover who they really are and what they're really capable of. So we all been brought up with what I called mistaken identity. We got this mental program. We call it a paradigm. And so people have rules and values and
You
beliefs,
there? Okay.
and it's muted. So we have rules, values, and belief. And the way that we do things is drilled into them at a very young age. We go to school, we have things drilled into us at a very young age. That mental program, like any program, controls how the machine, the mind works. And most of those beliefs we've been handed over are very limiting about what we're capable of, how good we are, how strong we are. I mean, we can do anything we want. We are taught to live through our five senses. We just believe what we're told to do. And as little people, we go to school and they tell us more information and we just go, okay, that's the deal, and just start living our life. And we live our lives very habitual without really thinking too much. And so I think it's important that you need to understand how your mind is dictating what you do. Many people like me have been through some very difficult times, like childhood trauma, abuse, those kinds of things. And they got very limiting beliefs. And once in a while, you meet people, you probably meet them, we all meet them, and you look at them and they're just like, life is easy. And they just fly. And they make a lot of things look easy and they just coast. And for those people, the paradigm and the mental program they had installed wasn't really limiting for them. And they're free, they're happy, and life is good. Very rare, but you do see it in some people. So I say mindset is really important to understand. What is the mental program that was installed into you? Does it resonate or work with you? It's like installing a virus in a computer. And unfortunately, we take this mental program and we're all different. We all got this machine, but we're all different. And so that program is not going to suit everyone every single time. It's like families that have, if they have like 6 children and all 6 of them turn out different. Why is that, right? Why does one do really, really well and one maybe ends up in jail or something? We're all different. And so it's understanding who you are, what you are, and forming your own rules and values and beliefs, and then living your life the way you want to live it and the way you were meant to be. So purpose is very, very important. The reason why is we all have a purpose. I think all of us have a feeling inside of something we want to be, do, or have. Human beings, we are goal orientated. We want to grow. That's why we always want to do more, do better, have more, be more. Some people call that selfish, which is just ignorance. We want to grow. We hit a certain level in life and we want to go higher. And so purpose is really, really important. I think some people get stuck trying to find their purpose. I think their purpose actually discovers them. If you get rid of all the mental junk and all the limiting beliefs you have, I think your purpose show up rather than having to go look for it. I think if you're looking for it, you're looking all over the place when it's here. When you get rid of what's covering up who and what you are, then the purpose comes up. And that's what happened to me. I had no idea that I would be sitting here now and doing this. So I want to share my story with you. So I come from a family of teachers. So my belief growing up was go to school, get an education. Until I was 8 years, I thought life was beautiful and magical. And I loved music. And I used to imagine I could just sing like Madonna and Tina Turner. I had dreams. And I felt limitless. After that, that was when the abuse started. I was also diagnosed with dyslexia. The truth is, I never thought that there was anything wrong with me until somebody else told me that there was something wrong with me. And I believed them. So I felt I was not as good as anyone else, like my classmate. I felt less than them. So because of somebody else's opinion of me, somebody else's judgment of me, I used that judgment to define who I was. And I felt like a failure. Somebody else's judgment should never define anyone. So this was my basis of my self-image. I went through that experience to bring me to here, where I can teach people. So all the struggle that goes with it, anxiety, depression, self-doubt, second guessing, and it all brought me here. And I'm now looking at my story as a gift. I have no ill feelings towards it. That happened to me, but it wasn't about me. And now I think it happened for me because I get to teach people that are really struggling and I can help them. I guide people to see in them what I see. They can feel it, but they don't really believe it. And so I just get people to see what everyone else sees, that they're afraid to express. And I get them to express it and act on it until they build their own belief. And then they start taking action. And they get their reaction and they become the person they're supposed to become. So what motivates me is just helping people realizing their true potential and really live their life the way they're supposed to live it without all this crap that's holding them back. So I meet a lot of adults that are living in bodies that are still struggling. And so I like working with them to get them to see who they really are. So they don't spend the next 10, 20, 30 years like I did trying to figure it out. The individual limiting belief and self-image is a huge obstacle. And that image they have of themselves was created by other people, their parents and teachers and people around them. Ignorance is an obstacle, and ignorance is just simply lack of awareness. So I work with people, and they live with people, and they have people in their life who really don't understand or are aware of how their mind works and how it's controlling them, and how their self-image is controlling them. And so people around them tend to become obstacles because we grew up with the huge fear of criticism. So when we go to make our move and we go off and try to do what we want to do and follow our purpose, We have people around us that are going like, what are you thinking? You can't do that. Who the hell do you think you are? Their own mental junk get piled onto you. And so those are some of the obstacles. But I think through persistence and time, people, they discover it. And I think we all feel it inside. It's like a flame and it's burning sometimes. It's brighten up and you go, yeah, I'm going to do this. And then it flickers back down again. But I don't think it ever goes out. It's like one of those birthday candles. You can't blow it out. We need to pay attention to that. And I think a lot of people end up in their own life on their deathbed and they go, oh, I missed that opportunity. So I just try to get people to see it and feel it. I just kind of light it up to the point where it's so bright, where they go and make the decision themselves and they get the courage and they're acting on it. So they get the cause and effect reaction. All you need is a little bit of reaction to your action to confirm, yeah, I'm on the right track. So I try to get people to take the road less traveled. So I was reading this really nice chapter by Thomas Trower. It's called Yourself. And he said, surely it's easier to be oneself than to be somebody else. That's what so many people do, is they struggle and strain trying to be somebody else. And we were raised that way, to fit into a box. And if you follow the rules, you were praised and awarded. And if you broke the rule, like I did many times, you were punished, criticized, and some in very bad ways. And so I think being yourself means just realizing who you are and living life the way you want to live it. And we try to do that when we're little. When we're little, we start fighting back and we go, no, because we want to assert ourselves. And in our teenager, we start doing it again. And our parents says we are rebelling teenagers and we're fighting back. I think you're not fighting back. I think you're trying to express who you are. Because the box you were stuck in, it doesn't fit. And you want to get out of that box. Then around mid-20s, it happens again. Then around your mid-40s, midlife crisis. And then you die. I think people are stuck in a box. There's a great story called A Pumpkin in a Jar. And a farmer took a pumpkin, a small pumpkin, and he put it in a jar. And he put the pumpkin and it grew to the shape of the jar, like it didn't grow more, no further than the jar. We're all pumpkins in a jar. So we got to break the jar and just keep growing. One routine I wish everybody did would be to get out of bed every day and feed their mind and develop their mind, like they take care of their body. Every morning we get up, we brush our teeth, we shower. Many people go to the gym and exercise and go off for walks. We do all kinds of things. We take care of our physical body and all the things around us. We spend all kinds of money on fixing cars, fixing our home, wearing nice clothes. But we spend very little time and money on developing this thing called our mind. Earl Nightingale said, We've been given this great gift. And the greatest gift we've been given is free. And our mind is this beautiful gift. And so we need to develop our mental muscles. And so we need to go to the gym every day and exercise our mind to really realize what we're capable of, what we can create, and how we're holding ourselves back. That's what I teach people to do. I try to get them to study every day how you work and how your mind works and how this whole universe works, because it all works precisely by law. And if you follow the law, you win. If you break the law, you lose. So don't break the law. So I am Ingjerd. And thank you, Eve. You can all find me at the-confidentmindset.com. I'm also having a free event the 19th of April. It's a 3-day event. It's the Confident Mindset /power. And you can register there. I'm going to talk about goal setting, self-image, and decision making. So Eve, thank you for having me here. Love you and love all the women here. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Amazing. Ingjerd, you always
I
bring.
I have to say something, Miss
Yes.
Jensen. You know, when I hear you speak, I hear the words. Bob Proctor is a friend of mine, and so I hear his words and I hear his spirit when you speak. All these thoughts, all these ideas. It was like deja vu for me, going back a number of years, and I said, "Wow, I really miss the guy." And